Hello everyone. So I wanted to talk about the spirit world. So when I mean the spirit world, what I really mean is the world that is unseen, yet it is felt. So that world is the spirit world, and it is the world within all of us. It is within. The world of within. So in this world, this metaphysical world that we cannot feel, but we can feel. We cannot see, but we know it exists. Sort of. So, this world, a lot of people call it just thoughts, but it's more than just thoughts. It is where all things live. All of our past spirits, all of the present spirits, they all live within. And that is called the imagination. The imagination is this spirit world. So, this is the world in which God lives in imagination. Imagination and the spirit world are one and the same, because God itself is the imagination. Okay? Imagination is the fabric of this universe. It's fabricated via imagination. Because without imagination, nothing would exist. Okay? Because everyone had to imagine these things before they became real. And to say that the imagination isn't, the spirit world, to me is just weird. I think it can be, I want to call it the spirit world, because I feel like all things live in the imagination. Because in the imagination, you can imagine anything, which means it lives there. Just because. You can imagine anything. You can imagine a ghost, and you'll feel it. Okay? That is the spirit world. It's the world within. It's the unseen. Okay? That world is the world of thoughts, emotions. That is the spirit world. That's the world of energy. Okay? This world is also fabricated via energy, but in the inner world, it's completely only energy, not anything physical. We can't see it. So it's completely energy. We can feel it, okay? And with the voice that we hear, that is the inner voice. I call it myself, but what it really is all of us together in one self, the spirit world. That's why I call it the spirit world, is because we are all connected. We are intertwined within oneself, which is why I like to call it the spirit world, because I can think about something, okay? And then all of a sudden, Sally calls me right when I was thinking she was going to call me. That is also how you know we're all connected via thoughts, emotions, all that. That's why I like to call it the spirit world. This world that we see is not the only experience there is the world within, which is definitely an experience at all times. And a lot of the time, we blame something else for whatever's going on in here. But I'm here to tell you that all it is up here is your imagination, okay? The imagination can make anything happen. That's why I call it God's magic. It's God's energy, imagination, in the spirit world. Call it all those things. It's all the same to me. But in this spirit world, God can create anything. God speaks to us via the spirit world. That's how it connects to us in the spirit world. Is thoughts, emotions, intuition. All that stuff is you using your imagination, which is God's magic. Okay? It's a spiritual force. So, which is why you can think about candy, and all of a sudden your mom comes home and brings you your favorite candy. Oh, Mom, I was just thinking about that. It's because we're all connected via the spirit world, the inner world. God's magic, imagination, whatever. Nothing in this world is just a coincidence. It is all perfect harmony. It is perfectly structured architecture made by something way higher up than us. Maybe up in outer space, so big that we can only experience it through thoughts and feelings. I don't know. But it's definitely within, okay? It's got its eye on us via imagination or whatever. That sounds creepy, so let's not make it creepy. Like I said, imagination can make anything real, okay? It can make or break your reality. I'm going to tell you a few stories about me using my imagination, the spirit world, or God's magic, whatever you want to call it. That is all the inner self. It's all your thoughts, feelings, your imagination. We'll just call it the imagination. Your imagination can make anything real. Okay? So I'm going to tell you a story. I once imagined that everything I thought was actually going to happen to me. This was years ago when I was about 18 years old. I just decided to use my imagination and think that everything that I thought was real. And I thought, yeah, that's really going to happen to me. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I used my imagination watching tarot card readings. And in these readings, I decided that the message would be correct. I said, yeah, I'll believe in it. I used my imagination, okay? And every message that I got ended up becoming real because I had decided that it was real. I had used my imagination and I had said, yes, this is real. This is really it. And I'm going to tell you, when you use your imagination, anything is possible. And by anything, absolutely anything. That's why the imagination can see all things. The imagination itself is the third eye. The third eye is the brain. Okay? Third eye can visualize. It can imagine anything. That's what the third eye does. It's the all-knowing eye, which is imagination. Imagination can see all. Imagination is the all-seeing eye. Okay? It knows all. It can see everything by the use of imagining it. It can imagine it and see it. That's it. And when you use your imagination to imagine something, you usually believe in it in some way, shape, or form when you're actually imagining it, because you can feel it. And when you feel something, you just know. You just know Dave's cheating on you. You just know Sally has a crush on you. You just know your pet is gonna die soon. I don't know. Stuff like that. That stuff can actually be true because you're using your imagination. Now, let's say I want to imagine my ex-boyfriend, okay? This is just an example, and I'm gonna imagine him coming up to me in the mall and asking me for my phone number. Something like that. Now, what you have to do to get what you want is to A, always be using your imagination at all times. Okay? A lot of the time, we use our imagination and we believe it, and we don't even realize it. So when we're at work, we go, oh, she's thinking about fucking David over there. She has a crush on him. She's flirting with him, and I hate it. Or something. You're using your imagination to make that real. You believe in it. When you believe in your imagination, it is real. Your imagination, you can choose what's real and what's not. As simple as saying, yeah, I believe, or no, that's not real. Just say it. That's not real. No, I won't believe in that. You know? Now there's things we cannot control, but when you control the inner world, things tend to happen. The inner world can be controlled. All you have to do is use your imagination to get what you want. All you have to do is imagine right now what's going on in the present. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is imagine what's happening to you now in the present. You imagine your soulmate's coming soon. You imagine that you're going to have the greatest time of your life because you're using your imagination, and you feel it. When you use your imagination, you use feelings. You use thoughts. And you tend to use those in a way that makes it feel like it's happening. Because it is. Imagination is the use of the spirit world, the use of the God magic. It is God. God is imagination. Therefore it's the spirit world, and therefore it is God's magic. So we are God. We are a part of God. God is within us, always speaking through us, to us, at us. All we have to do is know. When we were little, we always used to believe in our imagination. It's natural. We as human beings have been brainwashed to think that it's not real, but it is. The imagination is real. All you have to do is learn how to control your imagination. All you have to do is brainwash yourself and tell yourself that only what you want is happening. And all you have to do is imagine it happening now. And that's how you get it. I know. I've done it. All I had to do was just make up stuff. Make up a story. Made up a story in my head. And I kept it going. Sometimes I made up stuff that is so weird and strange, but I just told myself, yep, that's what's happening. And that really was what was happening. So everyone, have a good day. You can manifest anything using the magic of God, the imagination. Become one with the spirit within oneself, because the imagination is the all-seeing eye, and it can see all, and it knows all. It is God. Everyone have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.